Have you ever wondered how websites are made? In today's video, we're going to do something awesome. We're building your very first web page using nothing but plain simple HTML. If you don't know what HTML is, no problem. If you can type, you can code. Seriously, it's easier than you think. The goal for this video is to create a very simple web page using only HTML. You will learn the basic structure of an HTML document. Now let's sit back and relax, or if you would like to learn by following along, you will need a few things. First, you will need a computer with a keyboard, a code editor called Visual Studio Code. This is where we will write our code, and a web browser like Chrome or Firefox. If you don't have Visual Studio Code installed on your computer yet, you can pause the video and install it now. You'll find a link in the description below, or you could just Google Visual Studio Code. So what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is a special language that tells the web browser how to show stuff on a web page like text, pictures and links. Imagine HTML like Lego blocks. When you build something with Legos, you use different shapes and pieces. In websites, those pieces are called HTML elements. An HTML element is made of three parts: an opening tag, some content, and a closing tag. Now we are getting to the fun stuff. On your desktop, open up a new folder and call it My First Web Page. This is where we will save all our website files for this project. Open your Visual Studio Code and go to File, Open Folder, and open the folder you just created. Here you guys can have a little sneak peek of what videos I'm planning on doing for this channel. It's 30 projects that will gradually teach you HTML, CSS and JavaScript through fun, hands-on mini projects. Let's create a new file. Click on the new file button. It looks like a paper with a plus sign, and type index.html. Why index.html? Because most websites start with a page called index.html. It's like the home page or the front door of your site. So let's get our web page going. We always start with this line of code first. Doc type HTML. This is a special line that tells the web browser, hey, this page is written in HTML5, the latest version of HTML. It doesn't show up on your site, but it helps the browser understand how to read your code. If you forget it, some things might not work properly, so we always include it first. Next, we're going to start with our HTML element. This is the root element, and it defines the whole HTML document. Note how we have our opening tag HTML and our closing tag HTML, with our closing tab always having the /. The head tag is for metadata. Think of it like when you take a picture. It's the information about the picture, like the date and the size. For now, we're just going to add a title in the head section. As we progress through these projects, we will add and learn more about what we can add in the head section. This title element specifies a title for the HTML page, which is shown in the browser's title bar or in the page tab. The body element defines the document's body. This is where all the fun stuff goes. The things people actually see, like the text, images and links. Let's start off with an H1 element. The H1 element defines a heading. We get 6 types of headings. H1, which is our biggest heading, and H6, that's our smallest heading. This is probably a good time to say hello, and my name is Yaku, and I welcome you to first line of code. The P element stands for paragraph. A paragraph element contains normal text. Here we will just type, this is my very first web page. So you're probably thinking, how can I see the results of the code that I just typed? If you click on File and go down to Save, you will have to save every change you make as you code in order to see your results. So as you can imagine, this will be very time consuming. This is why we use the shortcut keys Control S for Windows, and on Macs we use Command S. Now let's have a look at our web page. Go back to your desktop and open up the folder you created. Double click on index.html. This will open up your web page in the browser. Now we can actually see what our code is doing to our web page. See if you can have your browser and your Visual Studio Code open next to each other like this. Or if you have two monitors, open up your browser on the one and use Visual Studio Code on the other. This will help us see our changes as we code. Now let's add another paragraph and see this in action. We start with an opening p tag, some content. In this case this is another paragraph, and a closing p tag. Now let's save our document. Notice how I have pressed Ctrl S and nothing's happening. This is because we need to click on the refresh button in order to update our web page to see our results. Wouldn't it be nice if we press Ctrl S that it updates in our web page on the browser? Well, there's a small little extension called Live Server. If we install the Live Server extension, this will enable us to see our web page get updated as we code. After installing the Live Server extension, go back to your code and right click and select Open with Live Server. This will open up a new browser for you. And now if we press Ctrl S as we code, it will update it automatically. Very nice. Now we're starting to feel like a coder. Let's have some fun with our web page. Let's add a H2 element to our web page. Let's press Ctrl S and see what happens. As you can see, our web page updated when we pressed Ctrl S. Let's put another heading on our web page. Let's add a H3 element. As I mentioned before, you get 6 types of headings. H1, which is defined as the most important heading, all the way down to 6 defining the least important heading. Note that they all change in size from H1 the biggest to H6, which is the smallest heading. Congratulations on finishing your first web page. Feel free to play around with your web page and the stuff you've just learned in this video. In the next video, we will create a daily checklist project that will build on what we've just learned in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.